Hey silver tubers, it is Mr. Zeke coming to you from the silver pouring bench. Well, we had one of our two yearly coin shows today, and after working at the LCS, I headed over there with the owner and my boss from my other job and proceeded to go hog freaking wild, according to my standards. So let's start with the melt pickups. We picked up sheets of these 1 ounce bars. We picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 60 ounces in melt silver. That's furnace fodder right there. A lot of it. So let's get that out of the way, and we'll get to the fun stuff. So I walked around, and I was committed to walking around the coin show. Our coin shows are not big here. They're actually very small. And so I walked around the coin show. I was committed to walking all the way around once and then go back and start, making offers and asking. And I had a few goals in mind. One was I wanted to start picking up the onzas. And so, because I wanted to work on that tube of onzas. Well, here is the results of my onza bickering, or my haggling. I picked up some just absolutely gorgeous ones. There's an 85, and no, I did not give $24. It's amazing when you ask, I learned a valuable lesson today. There's an 82, and these are all just in marvelous shape. There is another 82. And here is an 82, and it looks like another 82. So I, picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 82, or 185. Yeah, 185 and 482. So 5 onzas. I got these cheaper than they were selling the more modern Libertads for, which I thought was hilarious. But I think I gave about $20 a piece for these. And so there's 5 ounces to the stack. So I was pretty happy with that. Then I came across the next booth, and they had these 2 Credit Suisse 1 ounce bars. And so I picked these 2 up, and I gave about $1.25 over spot for these. Very nice, very nice. They're gonna go in, they're still sealed in the original packages. So, but I love my bars in airtight, so I'm a little torn on that. And in the same booth, he had 2 still sealed Engelhard 1 ounce bars. And I was kind of torn because there were some larger bars in the booth that had the bars, and I didn't know if I wanted to, just go all out and get a Engelhard kilo bar, or if I just wanted to spread it around a little bit. So I decided to spread it around. So I got 5 onzas, I got 2 Credit Suisse bars, I got 2 Engelhard bars, and there was another guy that had and these Engelhard bars I paid $1 over spot for, which I always hear people talk about, but I rarely get in on that kind of action locally here in Oklahoma City. So I to pick up Engelhard bars $1 over spot, I was like, heck yeah. There was another guy that had Engelhard bars, and I kind of let my attitude get the best of me. He wasn't exactly being very cooperative. He was asking $17.75 a bar, which I know that's a smoking deal for Engelhard bars. But I had just gotten these for $1 over spot, and he had 10, and I offered to buy. I said, what kind of a deal would you make me if I went ahead and just bought all 10? $17.75, and there was absolutely no wiggle room. And I get that it's a fair price, but if he would have said, I'll tell you what, $17.50, I'd have bought all 10. And a prime example is, those of you who've been watching my channel know that I am collecting a tube of US assay office rounds. Well, I came across a seller who had 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are clean. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go, 9. And he was asking, they were asking, these were in their junk bin. And this is a prime example of why I walked around, because I found another seller that had these and had just got done talking to the AppMex rep, because here in Oklahoma City, AppMex always goes to the coin show. And AppMex is asking $8 over spot for these. And the guy was like, and I didn't know they were worth that much. And I said, well, you know, he had 5. I said, well, what do you want for the 5? And he said, well, I'll take 24 a piece for them. And I said, 24 a piece? And he said, yep, 24 a piece. And I said, well, what if I buy all 5? And he said, I'd do 23 a piece if you bought all 5. And I said, okay, let me look around. Came across another seller who had these in their junk bin at $17.50 a piece. And so I was digging through and I saw one, and you know, they had the junk bin marked $18. And I started digging these things out. I saw one and I was like, oh, no way. So, and I ended up finding 9 of them in that junk bin, and I said, hey, listen, if I go ahead and take all 9 of these, what are you giving to me for? If you take them all, paying cash, $17.50 a piece. And I stacked up 9 of them. And in the booth next to them, they had one, a US assay office, and it's an 81, and it's got some toning on it. And this one also was $17.50. And so I picked up 10 of the US assay office rounds, which I think, I'll have to double check, but might actually complete my tube. In the same booth that I got the Engelhard bars, I found these 2 beauties, which we never see in Oklahoma City. I just picked up one of these 1-ounce Swiss of America rounds from Hi-Ho, so now I have 2, and I have never seen a Swiss of America Rolo in person, and now I got them, and guess what? I got them for each of them for $1 over spot. And I am absolutely beside myself. This is going to go in the bar box because it's that Rolo, chunky Rolo, and so, and this will go in an airtight and go in the vintage box. The vintage, I have a box where I'm keeping my vintage stuff. So picked up those 2, and then in another one, I found these 2. Honest value never fails, and I saw multiples. This is a 74 and this is a 73, and I saw multiples, but these were the only 2 that I saw that were actually from Provo, Utah, the Constitution Mint. This one's not in quite as good condition as this one is. I saw several that were from the Liberty Mint, but I am collecting the ones from the Constitution Mint until I get a full tube of them, because I just love that look. These are, for the year that they were made, to me, that's a pretty high relief round for 1973. I don't see a lot of this from that era. And so I got these 2. And lastly, from work before, and it was hard because I really didn't want to spend any money all day at work, at the coin shop, but I had to get this because I did not have a coin from Uruguay, and so I got this 1943 50 centésimos from Uruguay. It's 70% silver, and I got it because simply because I didn't have a Uruguayan coin in the coin book. So I got that, and this was all just for working. And I got just some more 1-ounce bars, generic 1-ounce bars, OPM bars. I got these. I think there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 1-ounce bars. Got that Uruguayan coin, and lastly, well, then I got a 1/4-ounce Indian generic round, which is furnace fodder. from Golden State Mint. And lastly, I got this, and I had not seen one of these before in person. This is a half-ounce Chinese panda from 1997, still sealed in the mint package. And so I don't plan on keeping this. I plan on finding somebody who collects pandas, both 1 ounce or fractionals, and seeing about doing a trade. So needless to say, I am beside myself. I am absolutely ecstatic. I stayed away on purpose from the big bars. There were plenty of hand-poured big bars. But I wanted to be able to spread it out and try to achieve some goals. And these Libertads are a big chunk towards my Mexican stack, my Mexican tube. I've decided I'm not going to do the coin press onzas. I'm not going to do the modern Libertads. I'm going to do the 1 onzas for my Mexican tube. The U.S. assay office. I looked for my Noah's Arks, and everywhere I went, they were really, really high. And interestingly enough, a little side note, there were plenty of dealers that had the white whale, and they were asking $70, $75 for the white whale. And I even pointed out to one of them. I opened it up to a couple of websites and said, look, you know, they're selling them now for $48. And rightfully so. They said, listen, we're upside down in these. We know we are, but there's nothing we can do about it. We gave $65 a piece for these, and we can't let them go for less than that. And I couldn't fault them for that. They jumped in early, and they're going to end up probably sitting on them. So anyway, that I promised that I would show what I picked up from the coin show, because I was so excited about actually getting to go to a coin show, because we have so few of them. That's what I picked up. So I appreciate everybody watching. Mr. Zeke coming to you from the silver collecting, stacking, pouring, and playing with bench. Cheers, everybody.